He's getting better.
Think he might play this week and come back?
I don't know. I don't talk about injuries. I know you're new. I don't talk about injuries.
Kind of an oddball question for you. So the NCAA was selling jerseys. They decided to stop doing that on their personal website. Did you guys ever think about that here, or do you give that any thought as to what gets sold in your store and what doesn't and why?
It's the first thought I've ever had of it is right now. I'm worried about trying to get a first down and stop on third downs for the defense, and I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay. So the messaging this week, I mean, do you really feel like you have to be even more on point this week than maybe in other weeks?
This week is no different than any other week. You know, we're focusing on the process, and we're eliminating the distractions, and we're preparing to go out and play a really good game on Saturday. Our opponent is not the focus. We're the focus in the way we prepare and the way we execute.
With your preparation today, was there a little bit of a change in terms of going shorts as opposed to maybe full pads?
You ask me that every week, Chris. No.
Okay.
Every Wednesday we go shorts and shoulder pads.
Okay. I just remember in the past it's been maybe full pads on Wednesdays as well. But
not this year.
Okay.
Dwayne, what do you want him to learn from Saturday? What do you want him to work on this week fundamentally with the ball?
The focus is on the football. The focus is on his pad level when he's running through the holes. You know, so that's the stuff we've been working on, and he's been applying it. You know, our defense, we've really made it a point this week to try to get after the football. One, for our own good, we need to get more turnovers. We need to cause more fumbles. We need the ball to come out. But two, we need it offensively. We need them to attack our guys, to try to get the ball out, to put an emphasis on it, so that we're taking care of it even better than we have.
Is Austin starting to get back to the Austin that you know?
He had a good practice today. He really did. I thought he was really attentive. I thought he worked hard. Had a nice catch there in the red zone. You know, sometimes what goes unnoticed with Austin is people just want to look at how many catches and how many yards. Well, that drive when we ran the same play 7 times in a row, every one of those runs were right behind him. So he's becoming more of a complete football player, and that's what makes us a better football team.
I went back and looked at that, and Bishop's 5 carries in that drive, he went to 5 different places when he got the ball. Is that innate for a back? Is that learned?
Well, I think it's a guy who understands the scheme that we're utilizing, and when you've got a good feel in how the blocks get set up and the way the defense tries to fit that specific running plays, then you can anticipate where those cuts are going to be. And Bishop just has a really good feel for that. And I think that's a sign of a good back, that he's not just stubborn to run where a play says it's always supposed to go, but has enough feel to recognize openings, whether it's front side or backside cuts, and then have the skill set to explode through and to make those plays.
When you recruited him, Steve, what did you see? What did you expect? Compared to what you did?
Well, it's always, you know, recruiting is not a science. You know, we try to be as perfect at it as we can be, and you know, I think the majority of the time we're right. Sometimes we're wrong. And with Bishop, you know, he was a wildcat quarterback really in high school. He was a guy who was in the gun, taking direct snaps, running quite a bit between the tackles. And so what we thought we were getting was a guy who had a good feel for running in between the tackles, maybe not the most explosive player, but a guy who had a good feel for the game, and a guy who his coaches must have a lot of trust in, because they put him at wildcat quarterback. You know, he wasn't just at a typical tailback position. And the reality of it is that's what we've gotten. You know, a guy, he runs tremendously between the tackles. He's extremely dependable. You can count on him. And he might be a little faster and a little tougher than maybe we gave him credit for initially coming out, but he's sure doing a great job.
Was the Wildcat perhaps why he came on late? I mean, it wasn't quite on.
No, we just, you know, again, we're not perfect in the recruiting process, and some guys we recruit for 3 years, and some guys we recruit for 3 weeks, you know, and you know, we had been recruiting them and knew of them, and then I can't remember the exact moment when we offered him a scholarship, but I think it was before his senior season, so it wasn't that late.
With the seamlessness between, you know, you get Bishop and Jesse, and then you got Dwayne and Deontay Cooper.
Right.
How does it say to the depth at the position?
Well, it's great. You know, we have 2 good young backs too, really, in Ryan McDaniel and Levon Coleman. So I like the position, and I think they're all improving. That's what's great about it. You know, I don't think any of them have just got a skill set where they are what they're going to be. I think they all can continue to improve, and they are doing that. And I thought Deontay Cooper had a good practice today as well. So I'm encouraged by the group and the amount that we run the football. We need that depth at the position.
Sark, I know you talked about the identity of the offense and kind of fitting the personnel and what have you. Are you starting to learn even more things about the identity of this offense?
Well, yeah, and I don't think we're not where we want to be yet. You know, I mean, we have some guys that we would like to have contribute even more, you know, and looking at just sheer reps of guys and things. So it's an ongoing process for us, but I feel good about the offense. And again, it's going to change some from week to week. You know, maybe not dramatically, but subtly, depending on how defenses are going to play us. And so, but I do like the focus that the guys have. I do like the cohesiveness and the camaraderie of the offensive unit. I think they're really playing for one another, and they are excited when they see their teammates making their plays. And that's the fun part about distributing the football and watching guys make plays.
And how about